Drifting Make me alive, make me alive. Make me alive, make me alive. Make me alive, make me alive. Make me alive, make me alive.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice.
Hey, yo.
Unfortunately, Matt cannot make it again tonight. He will return sometime in the near future. He's kind of like the Roman Reigns of our group right now. Makes his comeback every couple weeks, big main event, and then disappears again after a while. Well, that's rude. Well, moving on.
Quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate.
How are we doing this week, Juice? How's your week in wrestling been?
It's been good. It's been good. I'm looking forward to talking about this past week and what's upcoming. We got a big weekend coming up. I'm very emotionally invested. And we will.
So scared.
I'm scared of what this means for me and my future. But we'll get to this all later on.
I might need like a little break after this weekend, depending how things go. Like it's gonna like I went to the car wash today wearing a Sting shirt, and a guy was like, "Oh, I love the shirt, man." I'm like, "Me too. I'm so excited for this weekend." I'm like, I might cry. I don't know what's gonna happen this week.
The big one. It's a big one.
So we'll see. We'll see. Unfortunately, this week there is no trivia. We weren't sure what to do if Matt was coming or not, so we'll have trivia next week. I'll be doing it next week, no problemo. But this week, before we get into our all-in predictions, before we get into any WWE talk, we did some match reviews. We haven't done that in a while. It's been fun. I think this is the first time I gave Juice a match I liked, so I hope he also liked it.
Wait a minute. So you didn't like Eddie Ray at Halloween Havoc?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, because I think I gave you like 2 or 3 in a row bad ones, and you were just like, I can't keep doing these WCW matches.
Well,
and I was
you
like,
did,
yeah, I'll give you a new one.
You did, but to be fair, we intentionally gave each other one bad one because of the worst wrestler thing.
Oh, that's fair. Yes.
My whole thing was it was 3 WCW in a row, and I was just like, get me out of here.
Yeah, I had to change it up for you.
So
I went a little pre-Attitude Era. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Have you ever seen that match before?
Yeah. So I actually have seen that one before.
Nice.
So just a brief little recap for anyone that's watching who hasn't seen this segment before. It's pretty straightforward, but yeah, basically we just each pick a match that we want the other one to watch. We tell here why we wanted them to watch it. Could be an awful match, could be an amazing match, could be a match we've never even seen before, and we just want them to watch and hear what they think. So it's any variety of reasons, and then we just discuss it. So it could be from anywhere, anytime, any place. We just pretty simple. So I guess we'll start with that one then, I guess. So what was your match?
So my match, hold on, I need to pull up the name because you know me, I always screw it up and then you're going to make fun of me again.
Oh, I thought I meant like the match you gave me.
Oh, I gave you? You're right. My apologies. So
okay.
Juice got Undertaker versus Mankind, a boiler room brawl at In Your House in 1996.
Wait a minute.
What?
This is awkward.
What'd you watch? Oh no, buried alive, buried alive, buried alive, buried alive,
Okay,
buried alive.
thank you.
They have
Thank
so
you.
many matches, and I was going back and forth between those two. I was like, which one do I want to watch? I'm like, he's definitely watched Boiler Room Brawl because that was at SummerSlam. My apologies.
I was like, oh shit.
Buried Alive was in here. I got everything right except for the match. Buried Alive '96. My apologies.
It's okay. I was like,
This
oh man, I
whole
got
day-
different notes then.
This whole day I've been thinking of Boiler Room Brawl. The entire day I've been like, oh yeah, I remember that, and then I remember Paul Bear turned. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be such a great talk about tonight.
Nope. Buried Alive.
You know,
Um,
so I was gonna go to the Yankee game.
So yeah, this was the Buried Alive match from In Your House in 1996 between Undertaker and Mankind. I had seen this match before, even though it was before my time. This was one of the ones I definitely went out of my way to go back and watch once it was at my disposal over the years. I have seen the Boiler Room Brawl as well.
Nice.
But yeah, I loved it. It was great to revisit it and watch it again today. I mean, I love that, like, Taker gets in the ring and immediately just goes for Mankind. Like, they're just going at it right away. No standoff, no, they're not waiting for the bell to ring. None of that, like, monologuing going on. It's just them going back and forth, going at it. I loved it. And I talked about this before. It's just amazing how much, like, doing so much less and so much simpler wrestling in the ring got such a hot reaction for the time. Like, just how things have changed, and now you keep needing more and more and more to do more just to get a pop out of people. And it just says something. And like, it's a dying breed. And I still love it. I mean, it's amazing. It's what I grew up on too. So I loved them kind of just going back and forth like that. Just like the punches and the selling, the reacting to the punches. Like, that's all it took. Just a good punch. Not like a 450 forearm springboard.
Because it was all about storytelling back then. So like, as long as you told a good story with it, like, people were really invested into everything you were doing with it.
Yeah. And so some of the things I liked right in the beginning how I think it was Mankind went for like a small package on top of the mountain of dirt, and they stay in the small package and then they're rolling down the hill the whole time, like in the small package position. That made me laugh. There was the spot when they were on the outside a little bit later on, and he whips Mankind into the barricade. Mankind flies back into the ringside area, and Taker just runs through the crowd, jumps over the barricade with a lariat.
Yeah.
Cleared it. Just so, I mean, again, this is '96 Taker, so it's easy to be like, holy shit, and forget like what he can do versus like the later years and stuff like that. But
No,
I thought
Taker
that was
used to
pretty
be
dope.
super athletic. It was crazy. Like that that WrestleMania spot he did with HBK, that was like, he could have done that all the time if he really wanted to. Back in the day, he just didn't want to.
Oh yeah. I love that. I love that it's a no holds barred match, and Vince is still in the mic. Like when Mankind gets the shiv, like the little shank, he's just going to Taker. Vince is like, I know this is no holds barred, but there needs to be a line. Like, this can't be legal. How can he be using this weapon? And thank God Lawler, the one with brains, is like, it's no holds barred. Like no holds barred. Anything goes.
Close my door. Some noise is going on in the background.
Okay, noise. I'll keep going on for the viewers while he can't hear me. So Danny,
Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah. That's okay. I was just trash talking to you for a little bit. You can go back and watch it on our YouTube channel, which if you go to the link down below, you can get all of our videos on demand. And please take a second and like, subscribe, follow, all that good news. Please support us. We really do appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to us and you have Amazon Prime Gaming, you can go to amazon.com/gaming, and you can use your free sub that you get and give it to us. It costs you nothing and helps support us and gives us monies. We really do appreciate it. Thank you. Now with the housekeeping out of the way, we can segue back into the match here. Chair shots were awesome, right to the head, very stiff. I mean, yeah, sure, not gimmick chairs, they're not safe, but hell of a spot.
Yeah,
I mean, out of the chair going off, and Mankind's like licking the chair afterwards.
Vicious.
Amazing stuff. But when Taker first rolled into the ring, first rolled into the grave, like you can hear everyone like screaming, like they just did not want him to go in,
Mm-hmm.
and just wild. Like again, like just the littlest things people were going nuts for. I feel like today would be nothing. Like he's rolling, like okay, he's in there, he's not losing yet. Um, what else?
Well,
What else we
also
got?
remember that was the first time they've ever seen anything like it. So it's not even
Oh
like
yeah,
we're so like you keep saying desensitized to it, but like oh man, the first ever like holy shit, you're gonna bury someone alive right now. Like you're gonna kill someone. That's terrifying.
hmm. Now, did you watch this? Granted, you had the wrong match in your head coming into this now, but have you watched this match semi recently or not really?
Not semi
Like, when's the last
recently.
time you saw it?
I watched a clip on TikTok with Taker talking about it, and that's what
Okay.
got me thinking about it again.
So there's this one spot that like was brutal, and Taker like is reversing with hold on, trying to get in my head. Mankind was going no Taker. One of them was going for a power driver, and Taker basically lifts up Mankind and is holding him like he's about to do like an Alabama slam on the floor.
Oh
And
yeah.
rather than like dropping forward on the concrete, he just like falls backwards into the steel steps
Mm-hmm.
and like sits right on his face, sits right on his head. I was like, damn, like that's
Scary.
fucked up,
Yeah,
man.
that was very scary. I thought he actually like got his head stuck on like the edge of one of the steps. I was very nervous about that. I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that spot.
That's classic Mankind, just taking crazy ass bumps though. Also speaking of crazy bumps, I loved the ref bumps after when Taker was burying Mankind. Like Earl Hebner fucking lost himself off the dirt pile into the dirt. Like that hurts. That's not
Mm-hmm.
the ring. It's not concrete. You're hitting that dirt hard, and another referee took the same bump. They both just fall down. So that was props to them. Um, Now I do have a question, and I hope you can fill in the blank for me.
Uh-oh.
Um, why all those people in particular coming out at the end? The Triple H, Bradshaw, Goldust, the Executioner,
That's
like
what Jay DeFalco just said. Took forever to shovel dirt at the end. Why was Goldust there?
took forever. Yeah, but like I just was it just as simple as they're all heels and they all hate Taker,
So
or was there
if
some sort of
I
like
don't know, if you've watched it, but it was almost a callback to the 1992 Royal Rumble casket match with Yokozuna, and Kamala, and like that whole Cornette. Cornette had like a kind of like a little faction of all heels and stuff. So there was a casket match in '92, and a bunch of them came out and like held the casket down to like bury the Undertaker. So I think this was like a similar thing where like there was a bunch of heels that were kind of working together. Like you had the Executioner, you had some guys who were working with Paul Bearer and Mankind specifically, and then you had some guys like Goldust. I don't know why Triple H was there, to be honest with you, but like Goldust and stuff who were like weren't in the faction, but like were like had worked with him or at some point had recently faced the Undertaker, so like at least had some connection with it. So they all came out because like pretty much everyone kind of knew you can't do it by yourself, so like they needed help to do it. And also I think kind of to Jay DeFalco's point, it would have taken forever for one or two people to do the burying, so they had to bring out like 7 or 8 guys to get it done.
yeah. Well, I mean, Triple H was the only one that I actually understood why he was out there because he can't help it but bury people.
Ha!
Him being out there made sense, whereas everybody else is kind of like, all right, what's going on? Oh, definitely, I got him. And then, like, I don't know. If there's one reason you should go back and rewatch, at least the post match stuff. I swear I heard, like, when Taker goes in and they just start digging,
Mm-hmm.
you can like hear in the thunder and all the sound. I swear you can hear the oxygen tank begin to hiss, like
For
something
sure.
with him doing the having the oxygen. And like
Yeah.
I caught it. I didn't hear it the last time I watched the match, so I wasn't really listening for it. But this time I was just like, it sounded like an oxygen tank, like just hissing as soon as he went under. So
Because
props to them for at least
the
like
second he went down, he had to get into that because they started digging like right away. So he had to just like crawl in there, get that thing on, and like stay in that little hole, and
Oh, yeah.
wait to put his arm through and stuff.
yeah, no, and I appreciate the effort they took. It wasn't like some like half-assed like smoke and mirrors kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's smoke and mirrors, but I applaud them for the creativity. Like, I feel like you wouldn't get that kind of creativity today. Be a little bit lazier.
No,
And
for sure.
my last point on this match is Mankind should have won. Like, again, I don't know the whole beginning to end like story of where this is in the feud, but like to have Taker beat Mankind and then immediately get pulled out, and then they all bury Taker, just to have the pay-per-view end with Taker's hand coming out anyway. Just have Mankind win,
For sure.
and then you can still do that.
And it didn't make sense because I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. Let me look this up. But I'm pretty sure at that point, oh, no. King of the Ring was the following year, right? King of the Ring was 97. Right? That
Well,
big
this yeah,
that big
this
Hell
is
in the Cell
'96,
match. Yeah,
and
that was 97. So
this
at
was
that point, it
October.
was just Boiler Room. Yeah, this was right after Boiler Room Brawl. So, like, you didn't need Undertaker to get that win back right away, especially with the way you were ending that. I don't know. I didn't like it either. It didn't make sense to me either. Because, like I said, like you said, if you're going to end it with him kind of trying to be like, oh, I'm still here, might as well just have him lose the match. He kind of lost it anyway. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's how I felt. But it's
agreed.
still a great match. I loved it, but yeah, I felt like the wrong person probably won.
For
Either
sure.
way.
Agreed.
So my match now for you, Daniel, was I found it on the reason I suggested it is because I wanted to suggest to you and our viewers to check out this YouTube channel. WWE just opened up a new channel about a month or so ago on YouTube. It's called WWE Vault, where essentially they're posting old matches. If this is obviously if you don't have Peacock or you don't want to go through a whole like stream to find something or ads and all that, or as many ads because YouTube will still have some.
Yeah, of course.
But on WWE Vault, you can go and they post full matches you can watch. And the cool thing is they post some hidden gems, some matches that never air on TV, on pay per view, on Peacock, on the network. And this one in particular was happened about a month ago in Tokyo, and it was Bailey defending the women's title against Meiko Satomura. And I was like, that's a dope match. I want to see it. And it's cool that they taped it and they put it on YouTube in its entirety just to watch. Um, so I hadn't watched it, and I suggested it to you to watch, and I watched it as well, so we can just talk about it.
Sweet.
So I know it's a little bit more recent, so nothing nostalgic wise, but what did you think?
No, that's totally fair. And honestly, at first I was confused. I was like, I didn't know. Like, I'm surprised I didn't hear about the match. And then I started watching. I'm like, oh, okay, it's an untelevised. It's like a dark match or whatever. It's on a live show. So right away, the no commentators threw me off. I'm like, oh, I'm in for here we go. Because
I love that.
especially because I didn't know how do you say her name again? Just give me her last name.
Satomura.
Satamore.
Satomura. Satomura.
Satamore. So I've never really heard of her, to be honest with you, so I wasn't sure what I was expecting, going into it. Very different match than what we're kind of used to, especially these days. And
Yeah.
I kind of like that. It wasn't fast paced, but that's a good thing for this match. It wasn't high flying. There were barely any top rope moves. I think every time they went outside the ring, it was like going outside the ring. They weren't like jumping over the top rope or doing like crazy suicide dives. There was maybe one or two the entire match.
Mhm.
And you got to see really Bailey's like technical wrestling skill, which also is a nice change of pace for her too. It's not like I got to see her a little bit of old Bailey and a little bit of new Bailey. You got to see like some of the hug Bailey added, era with the NXT stuff. You got to see like the Bailey to Bailey, which she's been trying to bring back and stuff. But then you saw a very aggressive Bailey. Like there was a lot of moves she was doing in the ropes that I've never seen her do, where she was like trying to torque her body a lot and like trying to get moves
How
down.
cool? How cool was that? The arm bar,
That
where
was
she like
nuts.
yeah, she like went out holding the arm and went out and came back in
And
and
what's so
keeping it
funny
like
about that is the
really
only
cool.
reason like I that caught my attention is you had just sent us, and I had just watched it, but you had just sent us the video of the Sheamus and Pete Dunne move where he got the arm stuck, and we were like, oh, finally, like something intelligent, like none of this stupid
Yeah.
shit. And then right here, we see another situation where she's like doing a great armbar in a different situation, which I've never seen before, which was dope. Tiffany Stratton coming in, didn't expect it, and I really like that also. I think that added, like, because I forgot about the Money in the Bank, and this is a month ago, so that was fun too, and them getting her out. Unfortunate that Bailey mistimed the dive a little bit, the suicide dive there, but that's just me nitpicking. And then the ending was really good, just the sequence of, Bailey to belly, and then the kick out, and then Satomura looked like she was about, I don't know what her finisher is, but she looked like she was about to, like, destroy Bailey. And I was like, oh, shit, like, I know she's going to win, but fuck, like, this looks great. And then just another, I don't know Bailey's new finisher, I forget what it's called, but just the new move she did, and then just knocking her out at the end. It was...
I think it's called the Rose Plant?
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Something with the rose, and I think it's Rose Plant.
But yeah, no, it was a great match, and it was something so different from... Like I said, from what we see now, it wasn't about the show. There was no commentary, so they really had to, like, carry the match themselves. The fans were really into it, which really helped a lot. Obviously, because Satomura, they, hometown favorite and stuff. But, like, Bailey, they were going hard for Bailey, which is great. And that's not surprising, because you see Bailey all the time with the New Japan stuff, when Mercedes was there, when the Young Bucks were there and stuff. So it was, I liked it a lot. And if that's the kind of matches they're going to have on that YouTube channel, I'm definitely going to be checking it out a lot more.
Yeah, no, it was really cool to see that one on there. I loved no commentary. I loved more than anything. It was just one camera, no camera cuts.
Yep.
No
that made it
crazy
so
whatever.
much easier to watch.
One camera, no commentary. You're there with the crowd listening. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Very good match. Very well done. If there's one match anyone that's listening is going to go watch, check that one out. It was like a week before SummerSlam. The video will be dated around that time, so that helps. But yeah, very good.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm glad you liked it. Yeah.
So we're going to be doing more of those for sure. Again, if you guys have matches you want us to watch, especially if you want both of us to watch, we've never had that done before. Like, we've been choosing matches for each other. So if anyone at home, WCW, ECW, TNA, I don't care, whatever you guys want us to watch, throw us a suggestion, and we'll look into it and definitely try.
I will say, if you're going to suggest a match, while we do welcome any match, try and make it semi-accessible for us to find it. Is all I'm saying.
I don't think he's gonna like it, man. We just got to add the WCW era, Jay DeFalco. So I don't know if the triple cage is gonna be what brings juice back into the WCW.
How many have there been?
Triple cages? I want to say at least. I know I watched 2. And I'm pretty sure there was one before I started watching, so at least 3. I know there was the title match. There was like a tag team match. I don't remember what the other ones were though.
Well, either way, I've seen one of them. Can't remember which one.
Ready to Rumble doesn't count.
No, I've seen actually one of them. But yeah, Jay, if you remember or think of a specific one you want us to watch, and if you see it's on Peacock or it's accessible somewhere on YouTube, I'll watch it. If we can both watch it. Whatever.
Oh, I'll definitely watch it. Listen, I like WCW,
we'll
even as crappy as it was. I still enjoy some of those crappy matches.
So, yeah, cool. So that's our match. Our match reviews. We got to think of a good name for that segment. I can't think of a good one off the top.
Yeah, match reviews is getting boring.
We need something clever. We'll figure it out.
Moving on.
All right.
We have This Week in Wrestling. A lot has happened, good, bad, or indifferent this week in wrestling, and we have a lot to discuss. I believe since All In is the pay-per-view of the weekend, we are going to save that for, last, which means we are starting off with Juice's favorite promotion, WWE. Would you like to start with SmackDown or Raw?
Whatever you want, my friend. I have no notes.
I guess we go in order. So we'll start off with SmackDown. SmackDown is finally starting to set up the Usos coming in. So we'll start off with the Bloodline stuff. Not technically. I am definitely what's the word? Kind of guessing that. But what happened with this weekend? So first off, on a good note, on a positive note for the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu is not injured. Thank God. Came into the ring this week, beat the crap out of Roman, was moving very well. So whatever happened to him at the pay-per-view wasn't long-term, wasn't lasting. At least it doesn't look like it. So good for him.
So is the tag champion still Freebird rules?
They haven't addressed that because he came at the end of the show to take out Roman after Roman was doing some stuff with them. So they haven't really addressed that part. I assume they'll address that next week. I'm also going to assume Freebird rules.
Poor Roman. He'll be gone now for a month or two. What a shame.
So I think that's how they're starting to finally set up the Usos coming in, which is now they're taking out Roman. Now Roman sees he needs backup. Where is he going to turn for the backup? Clearly, the easiest one is going to be the Usos. We have Jimmy, who hasn't come back yet. And then Jay on Raw is about to enter the I'll get to Raw in a second, but just to get to Jay really quick. He's about to enter an Intercontinental title tournament for the number one contender. It looks like he's right now the favorite to win it, but he's probably just going to lose to Braun. So after that, I would assume that he can start going to like the Bloodline direction, unless they don't even have him win the tournament, which even easier. Let's see how that goes.
How big is the field? Please
they
tell me
haven't named everyone. Of course. Classic Raw.
Does it look like it's going to be 8 or 4?
I think it's going to be 8. I hope not 4, but if the first match is next week, let me look it up and see if they've updated it. But last I saw, it looked like it was just named. They didn't even name Uso's opponent. They just said he's in the tournament. So we'll see how that goes. Now, quick side note on the Bloodline stuff that I texted you. I had like a little epiphany about it. I still don't like it, but
epiphany.
I can understand a little more what they were trying to do and why and how they fucked it up. So Solo Sikoa, being this terrible leader, being this terrible tribal chief, is actually not the worst storyline if they did it correctly. Because if you're thinking like some of those movies or whatever, and some of those cultures where like your tribe needs a new leader, there's always that like cocky young guy who tries to take over, who isn't ready for it, and like even when he does take over, you see that he's inadequate and he's not ready for the leadership position, and there's a whole like struggle of power and yada yada yada. That's fine. I can understand that. Where they went wrong with it was that they made Solo seem like he was the guy from the beginning, and that he was this strong leader, and he was like Roman Reigns equal and esque, and Roman Reigns was even nervous about him and stuff. If they had come in with him being like cocky and then kind of put him in his place and whatever, but him still like trying to jump the gun, like all this stuff, I think this would have swallowed a lot better for people, because then they would have been like, no, fuck you, you shouldn't be taking over, but like now you are, instead of everyone being like, oh, here comes Solo, the new tribal chief, yada yada yada, and then when he sucks, everyone's like, what the fuck happened with the story? Why is this failing? Why isn't this good? Blah 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 blah. So like I don't know, I forgot what I was watching, but it like literally hit me. I'm like, oh, that's what they were going for. They just really fucked it up from the beginning. Good job, WWE.
Well, was it really what they were going for, or is it kind of what they fell into?
Fair. One of the two, right? I don't know.
I'm just saying, yeah. Like, but could it have been the plan?
But they didn't have to fall into it. That's the problem. Like, I'm going to argue that's what they were going for, because it's not like there was something. It's not like an injury happened or something happened where like they had to rush the storyline. This was the storyline. They were going to have Roman lose at WrestleMania and Solo be the next heir apparent. So like that was the story. That was what they were planning. So then I'm going to argue, yeah, they did fuck it up from the beginning.
But yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. All right. Either way, they fucked it up.
No, either way they fucked it up. But like now, if I can try to forget how Solo came in and now think of it through this lens, I'm gonna try to see if I can enjoy the Bloodline storyline a little bit better now. just put some rose-colored glasses on and just try to watch the show from now on.
Understand. Good luck with that.
What else happened? SmackDown, we have new number one contenders for the tag team championships. Street Profits and DIY had a pretty good match. Street Profits came out on top. So Street Profits are the new number one contender. And again, we'll see next week what this Freebird rule is. I don't know if it happens at Bash at Berlin. I don't know if it happens on a Raw or SmackDown before. We'll see. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Profits ain't winning.
LA Knight advancing a storyline with Andrade. So I know you're not. No, not Andrade. Sorry, Santos Escobar. I know you're not going to care about that, so we can move on from there.
I like Santos though.
Oh, do you? Okay, so then that's the new direction they're going with the U.S. title.
Good.
And they're doing. I don't mind it because everyone's doing it, but like everyone's doing it at the same time, and it's getting a little weird. They're doing like the poor versus rich storyline with LA Knight and Santos, where like LA Knight's white trash and trailer park trash, and Santos is like, you know, Mr. Sophisticated and yada yada yada. It's like they're doing that over. They just ended that. Like it just got over on Raw.
That's the problem with
Get away
WWE. This is
from
what
it.
they do. This is what they do creatively. They get an inch, they take the whole
Just
damn mile.
recycle
They
it,
can't
bro.
stop.
It's crazy.
Cannot stop.
Crazy.
Like what was it? They learned that one camera angle where you can like go around the ring with the camera as a track. Like they learned that like a few months ago, and everybody was like, "Wow, amazing!" And now they can every week. Oh, here's your little slot piggies.
I love it.
Watch your camera angles.
I love it.
I
Did you say little spot piggies?
said, "Here's your slop piggies."
Oh, that's not much better. You were acting like that was gonna be a better thing. You just fixed it with.
I know what I said. Here's your slop piggies, like your food. Eat up.
Oh man. And then I think that was really it from SmackDown. It looks like they're doing some Cody and Owens versus Waller and Theory thing going on. I'm not really sure where that's going, but they don't really look like they have a direction for Cody right now, which is strange to me.
Wait a minute. I'm confused.
Oh wait, because Cody's with Owens. That's right. So that segment wasn't shown on the on my streaming site. They cut out that segment for some reason, so I totally couldn't figure out what was happening. I forgot that Cody and Owens are doing something.
Wait, but if Cody and Kevin are fighting at Bash at Berlin, and then you're telling me they're going to be teaming up against Theory and Waller on SmackDown, are they going to be able to coexist? Can they?
And then Waller and Theory aren't coexisting too well either. So which tag team will not coexist better?
This is riveting storytelling, Danny. I may need to tune in to Friday Night SmackDown on the Fox Network.
You've never had those odd partners? That odd pairing?
Wow. Anything can happen.
Oh.
One of them may even hit the other.
Oh, man. You just remind me of your sarcasm of some stupid comment that I saw on YouTube. And once we get to Raw, I will explain it to you, and you tell me how you feel about it. Anything for SmackDown? I was about to say, anything you have left for SmackDown?
I have nothing. I have no notes.
All right, going to Raw. Let's start off with the thing I know you want to talk about the most right now. The new tag team name of Raw.
Oh my God.
The newest tag team edition. Which is
fucking Wonder Twins activate. What the fuck are we doing here, man?
The Terror Twins, bro.
The Terror Twins?
The Terror Twins, bro.
Like, oh my God.
What do you mean?
How?
What do you mean?
How? I may have to go and buy a gun and find the creative person.
They're
that came up
both
with this.
so tall and terrifying. They scare everyone, and they're very tall. Do you see them standing next to JD McDonough? Huge.
First off, okay.
Huge.
Like, listen. Like, yeah, it's a stupid name.
Stupid name. Terrible name.
Like, I'm not offended by it. I don't care, but I'm gonna pull the card and be like,
instantly thought of it.
Instantly think of 9/11.
Instantly thought of Twin Towers.
You can't do this.
Instantly thought of Twin Towers.
You can't do this. And like, I don't know if this is true, but apparently, like, you probably know.
Jay DeFalco said Vince sneaked his way back into WWE Creative to pitch that one.
Hey, I would not be surprised if he just got on the phone, went Terror Twins, and hung up.
Bro,
that was it.
Awful name. It's crazy.
Like, okay, so you'll know this because you've been watching, and hopefully if it's true, you've heard it. Apparently, they've been calling themselves the Terror Twins for a few weeks now.
2 weeks. But, like,
okay.
But not as, like, I guess technically as a team name, but they've just been saying it like we're the Terror Twin. Like I did not occur to me that it actually became like a team name until they really announced themselves as the Terror Twins this week. And I was like,
so stupid.
oh, this
Oh
isn't
my-
like a jokey thing that you're saying in backstage segments. This is what you're going as moving
I
forward.
hope I hope they're stupid enough to make like a shirt of the two of them like this,
100
like Terror Twins, and everyone's gonna fucking like. I cannot wait.
That's gonna be so.
Give
good.
me the dumb shirt.
That's gonna be so good. I can't wait.
I hate all of it.
So the segment for them, Dom laid out a challenge. As you know, the mixed tag team match will happen in Berlin. The Terror Twins versus Daddy Dom and Liv Morgan. Dom laid out a challenge for Damien to come out and fight. He said, leave everyone in the back. I'm leaving everyone in the back. I'm going to fight. Match didn't even get started. They attacked him right away. Damien fought them off. Rhea and Damien surrounded Dom in the ring. They were about to put him through a table. Liv stopped Rhea, beat her with the chair. So while she was beating her with the chair, all of New Judgment Day got recovered. Your face. Attacked Damian Priest, and they, for the first time since the split, came out on top and were standing tall. Now,
how can
go
it?
ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
How can it even be New Judgment Day? They're all the same fucking members,
They're
man.
the New Judgment Day, sir.
It's all the same fucking people,
Sir. They are. Carlito is officially in the group. Liv Morgan is officially in the group. And Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest are out of the group. That is a new version of the Judgment Day. I don't appreciate the I'm just explaining. You're asking, I'm explaining. I don't understand what you want from me. Jesus Christ. What's next? The New Day with Ozzy Jones is called the New Day. I wouldn't be surprised. The newest day. That's what they'll be. The newest day.
All that being said, I am totally on board with Bigger E. Bigger E, along with Xavier Woods.
Bigger E with the newer day.
Yeah.
So what I saw online that upset me, and I even commented, and the guy is too scared to comment back. Some idiot wrote, "This is how we know the WWE creative. This is going in a direction we've never seen before. For the first time that I can ever think of, and I've been around wrestling for 30 years, watching blah 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 blah. I've never seen the blonde girl that you would see in high school as the villain, and the tattooed emo girl as the heel, as the baby face. Like, what a new direction WWE is going in." And I instantly commented, I was like, so you never watched Trish Stratus versus Lita? You never watched some of the Charlotte versus fucking anyone? Like, what are you fucking talking about? What is happening right now? Why, what? Thank you. What? No, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Some people don't deserve to have brains. And I read comments sometimes, and I can't help but write it back. Like I need to know, like, how old are you? Like, clearly you've never even heard of or seen this or that.
It was crazy. It was crazy. All right, so moving on to other things for Raw. I just had to get that out there because it was very upsetting. Strap match for Berlin is official. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Strap match is on. You don't seem happy about it.
Well, because if I heard right online, they're doing it, they're doing the hit all four corners stipulation for it.
Yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't make sense.
Rather than just do pinfall or submissions or, just whatever. It's just going to be hitting all four corners of the ring. And, based on what I've seen and know so far, Drew's probably going to win again. You can give Drew another win where Punk doesn't get pinned this time, at least.
And I just don't understand, if he does win again, why this storyline continues besides the fact that Punk wants the bracelet back. Like, there's no other reason.
I don't mind.
I'm not saying as a wrestling fan, I will not mind watching Drew versus CM Punk. I'm saying from a storyline standpoint, once you beat him twice in a row, once you can't get over the hump, I understand you still want the bracelet back, but then there needs to be a reason for Drew to agree for the third match. There needs to be a reason for Adam Pearce to agree for a third match. And like, I want to know where they go with it. That's what I'm saying. I'm interested to see how they shift the direction if he does lose.
Well, here's my thinking: is obviously like they're in each other's way of even getting a chance at the WWE title right now, and they know that.
Yes.
So they can't get to a world title until the other one's out of the way. And if Punk keeps coming back, Drew's gonna keep coming at Punk. So eventually they'll do some sort of stipulation, I guess, where like one of them can't fight the other or something like that. I don't know, but so much of this feud has been when Punk has been physically inactive. He's only been back now for like a month or two. Like, this has got legs to keep going, though. I don't mind them fighting until the fall.
But then I think Punk needs to win. Like, I think
eventually, but I don't think here though.
I think you need to give him a win here.
Actually, you know what?
For
you
two reasons. For two reasons.
You do have a point, because then you can also do Punk beating him but not pinning him.
Exactly.
So you got a point.
But also, they're bringing in the strap match, and just because of the insinuation with the dog collar, I feel like this is kind of becoming Punk's match now. So like, I feel like this is a match where he's kind of like tailored to win because this is what he's used to and shit like that. I don't know. The strap should be a giant rendering of CM Punk's bracelet, according to Jay DeFalco.
I like that. Good idea.
Would be great.
Yes.
I don't know if you caught this also from the promo. Did you catch the line? I'm sorry. Did you catch the line of the night from CM Punk's promo?
Yes, that was going to be my segue until you interrupted me.
Good. Go ahead then.
Well, because you said the match was being tailor-made for him, and I was like, well, speaking of tailor-made, he's known as the Taylor Swift now of men, apparently.
According to who?
According to him.
All right, because I've never
whatever. I'm not getting into the minutia of that. Like, what?
Your Jay DeFalco just farted at that.
He did.
I don't understand that comment. No, but like, I'm serious. I don't understand the purpose of the comment.
I get it.
You're not even in. I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense.
I get it. I do get it. Want me to try and help you make sense of it?
Please. Explain.
First off, the bracelets.
As a non-Swiftie fan, explain this to me. First
off, the bracelets.
Okay.
Swifties are insane with the bracelets that they wear and they have.
Okay.
They go to concerts. They trade. They have just like the one with Punk. They have all these bracelets they wear. They take them off. They trade with each other. They sell them to each other. They have their names and Taylor Swift on them. So that alone is enough. But then also, if you really want to break it down with the way certain fans feel about Taylor Swift, how they feel about CM Punk. I mean, that's just fandom in general, though.
Yeah.
But he's talking more about the bracelets. So it's a valid comment to make.
I'm gonna agree with Jay DeFalco and say that's just all ego, bro.
I mean,
that's CM Punk.
Sure, yeah, he's that too, but it's not.
It was just a weird comment. I was like, all right, I guess. Yeah. I don't really consider that, but if you want to,
for all we know, it was somebody in creative telling him to say it. We don't know. It's not AEW. He doesn't just go out there and talk. Either way,
that's fair. That is fair.
We've already talked way more about this than I wanted
to. Okay, some other quick points to hit. I'll save the World Heavyweight stuff for last. We had speaking of terrible takes of the internet, I remember I sent you guys before Raw what I found a hilarious take where some guy who was a really big Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile fan apparently was saying how the Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile match, which he even admitted will most likely be a squash or something like that, but had the potential to like be a career defining moment for both of them and like could have been the best match of ever and blah 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 blah. And for a little bit, I believed it might happen. The way they started the match, not that it was great, but like the way they started wrestling was better than what both of them have done in a while. So I was like, oh, maybe this guy was crazy right. And then 2 minutes later, match is over, and out comes the Wyatt Six. Nikki Cross attacks. The Wyatt Six beat up like Chad Gable and all, and I'm sorry, American Made, and that was pretty much the end of that segment. Nothing new. That's getting repetitive, but we will be seeing for the first time Uncle Howdy wrestle next week against Chad Gable instead of at Berlin, because this is your biggest storyline apparently with your leader of the biggest storyline. But that's going to be a Raw match and not at the pay-per-view for some strange reason.
That'll put butts in seats.
That'll put the butts in the seats. Bronson Reed is continuing his terror as he now has taken out The Miz after last week taking out R-Truth, after the week before taking out Seth Rollins. So next week, you might like this. He faces Braun Strowman one-on-one. Maybe he takes out Braun Strowman.
Why would you say this to me?
Which one?
I don't like either of them.
I know, but maybe if one takes out the other, that's a good thing.
That's like me watching Mets and Red Sox going, I hope they both lose. Like, kidding me?
And the last important thing of note is the world heavyweight segment again. Randy Orton kind of kicking it off. Same old that he's going to beat him up. They're going to have, I think, a great match, so I can't wait to see it. In the main event, he beat Ludwig Kaiser. But the main event, the way the show ended, I hate when they end like this. They had them ending as they were fighting, him and Walter. They were fighting like to end the show, and then the show just went off. I'm like, at least separate them, do something. As a fan watching on TV, I want to see something. I know they're going to go in the dark match and have something for the fans anyway, so it's not like it's going to change it. But I don't know, just that little cliffhanger sometimes. I'm like, it's been done. Do a better cliffhanger, maybe. I don't know.
Yes. Also, Jay, we did mean Boo Dallas, not Bo Dallas.
Boo Dallas.
Boo because we boom, and boo because now he's spooky.
Oh Jesus. All right. Any questions for Raw or anything else you want to talk about Raw?
Absolutely not.
I doubt it. All right. Moving on to AEW.
Yay!
That's rude. We're unbiased here at the SharpSHOOTers podcast. I enjoy WWE sometimes. All right. Start us off then, Juice. So we're going to save a lot of the pay-per-view stuff for when we do the predictions, right? So we're going to try to talk a lot about non-pay-per-view stuff since last Dynamite, this Collision, Rampage, and last night's Dynamite. So we have a lot to talk about.
Yes. Before we do any of that, I have some breaking news for you. Huge news coming out of AEW.
That's
and the
right. I
wrestling
stayed
world.
on social media like you told me to today. So this is going to be
Now,
breaking for me.
For any of you watching, I would suggest muting your streams now if you do not want to hear this potential spoiler for All In.
Oh, shit.
It is nothing that's aired on TV yet, but I'm giving you a decent heads up to mute now. I will give a thumbs up when you're good to unmute. I'm going to cover my mouth. Danny can hear me. Ready?
Mute now.
Ricochet has signed a multi-year deal with AEW, and he is expected for AEW All In. Let's go.
I heard that. I will not say anything besides, do you expect him in the match? In the gauntlet match?
I don't think so.
No? So he just debuts but doesn't wrestle?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see him coming in and losing. But it should be interesting.
Maybe
so
he doesn't.
Big news broke a few hours ago.
Pisses off Hangman and he doesn't lose. But no, I did. So funny enough, I saw someone on. So I went on Facebook before you had texted me that, and I saw someone write, "Oh, so if Ricochet signs with AEW or blah blah blah, then he's a jobber now." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot he's a free agent. He should be signing sometime soon."
So yeah, we'll see. But I'm gonna give a thumbs up now, so we can move on from that. For anybody that.
No, that's awesome. I hope that works out for them. So,
what crazy news? Shane McMahon. No.
Imagine. Oh wait, sorry. Really quick. Did you know? Yeah. Sorry, really quick. One last thing from WWE that I just saw. Pat McAfee, you heard, was his last Raw till January, right?
Yeah, it's College Game Day.
So that's he will be back for January when they go to Netflix. So they did announce that.
I figured as much.
All right. Anyway, going back to AEW.
Yeah. So last week's Dynamite, I really didn't have any notes or anything written down. So if you did, or you want to talk about anything from last week, you can. But I didn't have anything from last week really. I wanted to bring
last week. I feel like there was one important. Let me just look it up really quick. I feel like there's one important thing from last week's Dynamite that I did want to talk about.
And Jay, I see you meant the spooky way. Accurate.
Accurate. What did we have last week? Oh yeah, we had. So last week was the tag team title match with the Acclaimed and the Young Bucks, and then you had Monet versus Shida, which were two really good matches also, and then Strickland and Yuta were staying up for this week, which they did well. But the no. That's right. What I want to talk about was the triple threat match. The O'Reilly, OC, and Orange and Roderick Strong triple threat to see who the number one guy in the gauntlet was. Now, doesn't that also mean though that Roderick and Kyle are in the gauntlet match?
So, yes and no, because the mindset you're supposed to have as the viewer is that after 1 and 2, there's no guarantee of you getting in.
Of course.
Because again, you can pin. So like, yeah, they're both probably in it. And I think Orange, Kyle, and Mark all said last night they're all in it anyway. If you caught that.
Yeah, that's all.
So yeah, so they're all in it. But the whole thing was to get in first, so you can have a shot at
of course
winning it right away.
No, because I know we're trying to figure out like who's in it, and we're not really gonna know who's in it because obviously there's no reason to announce all them. But that's why I was like, oh wait, no, if they're in it though, I don't understand. Blah blah blah. But yeah, no, I get it now.
Well, why they're fighting? Oh yeah.
No, why they haven't announced them. But then I understand like that's why.
Well, because again, the mentality you're supposed to have is
if they're not in there.
Yeah, like Roderick could be in it, but he can't get in,
exactly.
like last time.
So
they've never announced anybody for them.
I wonder who number
actually
2 is
announced
going to
before
be.
This time,
it's got to be Paige, right? Number 2.
I don't think so.
You don't think
not that early?
The way they
if he's coming in like that much of a, if he's coming in on fire, you gotta get some people in the ring first.
Interesting. And then the other thing from last week that I want to talk about, just because it'll lead into probably Collision for you, is the way the tag team match ended, which I thought was kind of dumb. I wasn't too crazy about the way the tag team match ended. Like, I understand why, and it set it up, but like, the thing that upset me, and I think I said this to you guys, was that if you're gonna have another team interfere and cost you the match, and you're the number one contender, why are you now facing that team to be the number one contender when they caught like? You should just get a rematch. That's not one of those things where it's like, I get it, the Young Bucks are the ones in charge and blah, 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 but then you also have Christopher Daniels who's making these decisions also. So he can easily say, like, there should be a rematch or whatever bullshit. I don't like the way they the way they got the FTR into the match. Like, I think it was kind of bullshit. Yeah. We've been saying that we didn't want it. I wanted Acclaim to have a straight-up match against them, and they got fucked, and it kind of sucks.
Well, I think they literally did force it because you got to remember, Dax was out hurt. Like, they probably didn't know if he was going to be available. So they probably said, hey, for now, we're going to roll with Acclaimed and Young Bucks. They probably had it in their back pocket, said this is going to be the all-in match if we can't figure anything else out with FTR. And then Dax was good enough. And then they kind of forced it. So,
crappy.
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, they've done worse builds, but...
So yeah, that's all I want to talk about last week. So then we can just lead into whatever conversation we're gonna have for Collision and Dynamite and stuff.
Yeah. So Rampage last week, did you watch or no?
No.
Come on, man, you're killing me here.
I missed it. Right. The Rampages I've been missing the past few weeks. I am not gonna lie.
Killing me. All right. Well, some developments I wanted to talk about. Private Party was holding a party backstage. A private one, I know. And Scorpio Sky was trying to get in, and he wasn't on the list. Then Private Party came out and said, no, he's good. He can come in, let him in. So I'm wondering if that was a potential trios team up incoming, or just a way to get Scorpio back on TV in some way. But very interesting segment.
I hope so, but like I feel like they're just gonna drop the ball with him again. Like they keep like stop starting him, and I don't. I'm excited because I like Scorpio, but I'm not excited that they're going to actually do right by him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but it was a very interesting segment to put them together. It's better than Scorpio on his own. I'll say that much.
Fair.
All right. So you missed Rampage. You probably watched Collision though, and so you probably saw what was on Rampage as well. What are your thoughts on the Top Flight gear? The new look.
I don't
like it. What are you thinking?
I'm not crazy with the new direction of Top Flight, to be honest with you. Like, I think that's Shade of Falco's answer to the top flight gear. But like, even their backstage segment when they were like talking to them backstage and stuff, like the way they were talking just felt weird. Like it felt like they weren't talking naturally. It felt like they were trying to talk. And I don't mean this in an insulting way because I don't think they're dumb, but it felt like they were trying to talk smarter, like trying to use like different words or whatever, and it just came out like awkward. And I wasn't sure.
Interesting. No, that's interesting. I didn't really even think of that. Like I'll have to go back and rewatch or re-listen to that. I didn't really catch anything like that, but I don't mind Layla Gray with them. I don't mind her dressing as a stewardess with them, as a flight attendant with them. But I think them coming out in
Mm-hmm.
that kind of flight attendant gear is a little, it's weird. I don't know. It feels a little like,
Chippendale.
it feels a little WWE
That's what
where
literally
it's
what
like,
the comment just said.
oh,
Literally
it
what the
felt
comment
very,
just
yeah.
said.
Like I can see somebody backstage being like, "Hey, you guys are top flight, like flight attendants, like be like that," and like I'm willing to give it a shot, but I don't think this is gonna do anything to like get them over more or elevate them more. Like they're already over enough,
This is
you
this
know.
is
Like
not a gimmick that's like a main event gimmick. Sorry, like being a flight attendant is not a main event gimmick.
again, Layla Gray doing it as the valet or as the female of the group works fine. When she's out there with them, go. But like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it even sticks.
No, I
Maybe they
agree with
tried it
you.
and they're
I
like, "Yeah,
don't
this
agree. I
stinks."
don't like it. I don't think it works well. I'm
I
not a
mean,
fan of it.
less flight attendant gimmick, more drinking whole water bottles in one shot. Yes, action Hydretti, give it to me.
Hydration ready.
Yeah. So that's all I got for Rampage. Now Collision. All right, I gotta get this off my chest. Let me paint a picture for you here, Danny, of my Saturday last week. All right,
All right, Bob Ross.
I had fallen behind on Ring of Honor television the last 2 weeks. I needed to catch up.
I see on the shirt.
So yes, both episodes were about 2 hours long. So I sat there in the afternoon, caught up on about 4 hours of Ring of Honor television. All the tag teams, all the build up, all the things going on. I was like, all right, these have been some solid programs, some solid matches, good stuff. And then what do I see on AEW Collision? Yet again, another thrown together tag team in Texas winning ROH titles for a hometown pop. Like, what the hell are we doing, man? It's one thing to give Dustin the trios with the Von Erichs and brand new trios that just formed up, give them the belts, and all the other trios that have been fighting nothing. Now you got the Undisputed Kingdom, who've been tag team champions, since October,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Maybe. Like, actually been on Ring of Honor TV defending them. Not really in a crazy feud, but like defending them and having defenses and doing all this stuff. And you just ended on a collision against another thrown together tag team. I don't care if it's Dustin and Sammy. It's thrown together. It's the second time they've teamed together.
I was just saying,
Which is what they
like,
did with Dusty and the Von Erichs.
Yep.
It's so fucking annoying. And I'm the same broken record here with Ring of Honor. And it made me go back and look and find out, like, since Tony's taken over Ring of Honor, not one ROH title change has happened on ROH TV. Every single title change has either been on AEW TV or pay-per-view or Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
That's terrible. That's so bad.
Why should I watch the fucking weekly TV?
That's so
If
bad.
you're not going to change, give me nothing exciting there. All those tag teams, all those trios have been fighting for months to get a shot. And you just give it to Sammy and Dot.
It really doesn't make sense.
It really, honestly, it put a bad taste in my mouth for the rest of the night. And it was a solid collision otherwise. But after that, I was like half checked out where I was watching it, but I couldn't really get into it.
No, I agree with the same exact thing. I think it was a really good collision. I liked all of it, but the fact that I had the same reaction. I don't even watch ROH. I just know the little storyline that they're doing. Sammy Guevara saying he's trying to prove himself, yada yada. Let me prove myself to you, blah blah blah. Tag with you, gain my trust. I get all that. you should not be winning the tag team championships. Sorry. Get a tag team title match. That's cool. Come so close. That's great. Have the fans on the edge of their seats. Awesome. Why are you winning the belts?
And it's so stupid because everyone's like, oh, now Undisputed Kingdom can move up and challenge for AEW tag titles. Or like when Athena loses the women's title, she can move up to AEW. It's not NXT, man. There aren't call-ups.
It's not happening.
Like anybody can get the shot at any time. They're all in the same thing.
If they were call-ups, they wouldn't have had the trios title being held simultaneously. They wouldn't it's just so frustrating.
It's really annoying. It's really frustrating as a Ring of Honor fan and a viewer. Like it's just so fucking annoying. And now I guarantee you, if or when the Sammy turn does come on Dustin, it's not going to happen on Ring of Honor TV.
Nope. And I was going to say that too. To further your point, at the very, very, very least, have them win it on Ring of Honor TV. Like, it sucks that they're going to win it anyway. It's not like you're not wrestling in Texas. You're still in Texas because that's where your Ring of Honor shows are happening, in the same arena as AEW show. Like,
so
just so stupid.
So dumb.
I agree.
All right,
man.
I'm mad enough about it. We can move on. I just had to get it off my chest, man. That sucked.
Fuck you, Sammy and Dustin, you shitheads.
Sucked. Fuck Tony Khan, man. He booked it.
Yeah, fuck you, Tony Khan.
I like Dustin and Sammy, man. But
TK,
whatever.
fuck you.
Yeah. Fire and Punk, whatever. All right. Harley Cameron. She's so entertaining, man. I don't know how you feel about her on TV lately.
I do
but
like her.
She's like one of the most funniest, entertaining characters on TV. Like, yeah, the wrestling is okay, but she's so freaking funny.
I'm starting to see that they're really like some of their female characters that they have really have like some like let them just talk, let them just go in the ring, man. I'm really enjoying what they can do on the mic.
Yeah. What'd you think of Perry's new TNT title?
Hold on. First, Jade Falco says she has the gimmick. The in-ring is getting there. And I agree. I think, and as long as you have the gimmick and people are willing to work with you, I think her in-ring is going to be really strong, especially with all the females they have there. If they like actually work with her and they actually help her, there's no way you can't learn from people like Serena Deeb, Sheeta, Britt Baker, like all these great names in there. Even Britt you can learn from, just maybe pick and choose what you're learning from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think she can definitely get there. Perry's new title, I like for him, and I understand what it is. I don't like the title. Like, it just feels like a giant smudge of black on it. So, like, it's not something I would buy, but, like, I understand why he's getting it, and it kind of fits the personality. But I also think it kind of sucks that it's just, they changed and they introduced titles so much that, like, they just did the MJF title change. It's now the America title. Like, we're just getting used to that one. Now we have a new version of a different title. Like, we just changed we just had the Continental title a little bit a while ago. The International title, like, not change it, that we just introduced a Continental title. Like, the International title was originally a different name also. Like, they changed that. Like, they just do so many changes with championship belts, and they just have too many anyway that, like, it kind of just it's just another belt in a sense when it should have been a bigger moment for him. Like, he has his own custom belt now, and that's great. But, like, it just kind of felt like a moment that could have been bigger, but because of everything that's happened, like, it's not as big.
So I don't mind it. I love the title. I think it looks awesome. But I don't mind it because, like, you got to remember the TNT title's been notorious for, like, each champion, like, having its own version of it. Darby did it, Brody did it, Miro did it, Scorpio did it. Like, there's been multiple. So TNT title kind of gets the break where, like, a new champion can do their own spin on it. I don't know if you saw the video of Perry, but apparently he, like, made it himself. Like, they showed a video of him, like, in the backyard, like, designing it, doing
that
all
was
stuff.
cool. I did like
and
that.
Spray painting it. So I like it. I mean, listen, I know I feel how I feel about Perry, but he should be thanking his lucky stars for what happened with Punk, because he would not be where he is today.
Nope.
If not for all that. It helped him evolve and become who he is now as a character. So
And I think we were even saying that his character, like his heel turn, wasn't really working when it was
it was
happening.
not.
So like
He was
this
coming out to
really
like
saved.
fucking Beethoven or some
Yes, yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly. Like this really saved him because like everyone forgot about that stupid fucking gimmick and like he can get into this one now. So I agree with you. Yeah, that worked for sure.
Yeah. Um, the one thing I did love, I know you said what you said about the storyline. I love the 30-minute draw with the Acclaimed and FTR. Um, it was the right thing to do versus another
Yep.
screwy kind of finish. Um, everyone's hating on the Acclaimed and kind of Max Caster, but I still like the Acclaimed. I still think they're very solid, not getting the love they deserve. But
I
yeah,
don't
it was
even
the right move to
understand why
do.
everyone's hating on Max just because like this is what his new person like the acclaimed was getting boring. All I love them, but like
Yeah,
their shtick was just getting repetitive, so they needed like some different angle, and you can't just always
yeah,
be like, "Oh, get more aggressive," because like that eventually also becomes old. Like you can only be so aggressive for so long with
yeah,
keeping the same kind of gimmick. So changing this to now being a little more cocky, I'm the best in the world, like we're the best tag team, like we still like you, but like we get that tinge of annoyance. So like if you do decide to do a heel turn, it's the seeds are already there, I'll believe it. But if you don't, like win the tag belts and then I can back you and like you are the best in the world and that's perfect because I can say that and you have
yeah.
the belts and like that works also. So I think this
I
is a
think
really
yeah,
good place they put themselves in.
yeah. Well, and they've been smart with it too, like not doing the raps as much, not doing the raps
Mm-hmm.
anymore, mic cutting out, whatever, things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
they're clearly playing the tweener card right. Um,
Agreed.
but yeah, either way, that's all I had on Collision. I don't know if you had anything else, but
Nothing that's not pay per view related.
okay. And then lastly, last night, I mean, the only things I have written down were some great talking segments all around with
So many
Mercedes and
good
Britt,
ones.
Osprey and MJF, with Swerve and Danielson. I think all three were home runs. Got the drop across. Did you notice Danielson's shirt, by the way?
No.
He was wearing the same flannel that he wore the night he retired in WWE,
Was he? Son of a bitch.
the
I hate
green and
him.
orange
I
one.
hate him. Son
It's the
of a
same
bitch.
flannel. So, well, he knows what he's doing. Um,
Really quick from Collision, did you catch the Eddie Kingston segment?
oh, yeah.
How'd you
Yeah, that
feel
was
about
good. It
that?
was solid.
Because just because you talked about Daniel Bryan and that reminded me of the Eddie Kingston thing.
You mean Danielson?
Sorry, Brian Danielson.
Yes. It's okay. Just gotta,
Every once in a while, man, just
um,
remind me.
yeah. Um, I liked it. It was good. I mean, I said elsewhere, I was like, I kind of feel like it would have been a little bit of a better, more effective promo if they did it before the Jarrett fight,
Yeah.
because like the Jarrett match was supposed to be like kind of the fire coming back, and then like to do afterwards, Eddie Kingston doing another promo about you not having the fire. It felt misplaced. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
terrible. Still
agree.
liked
I
it, but
100% like the Jarrett match. I felt like what was the point of it if it was just going to lead to the same kind of like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Like that was supposed to be
yeah.
like a, yeah. No, I agree with you. You already said it. I don't need to repeat.
Yeah, and then my last two notes, Okada and Claudio to a draw. I mean, awesome, but like, holy crap, are we really not getting Okada on the show? Like, that's nuts. If he's not going to be on All In at all, out of all the people to not be on. Um, and then Soraya, still a big question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I won't say anything spoiler wise, but based on Rampage and Collision spoilers, which I've read, which I will not share here, her name's nowhere to be found. So unless they're doing like a pre-tape or a backstage thing with her to like set something up, I got no idea what they're gonna end up doing with her. She may end up just coming out honestly and like cutting a
Open
bitchy promo
challenge.
and then yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But that's all I got.
I mean,
Um,
I'm not going to ask you because you said you read the spoilers and you didn't mention his name, but it's the
it's all
same
right. I
thing
won't share.
as Pac right now, where I feel like I don't see Pac's name anywhere coming up for All In. Like, yeah, see,
Well,
that's why I didn't want to ask you like point blank, but like until I see Collision or Rampage as of right now, Pac and Soraya like they're kind of in the same boat where it's
well,
like they should be on the show and they should really have like a good storyline going into the show, and it feels like whatever they're gonna get if they get anything is gonna be so last second.
Well, I won't spoil anything, but again, did you see the match that they announced on Dynamite for Collision? Or no? Did you miss it?
Which for who? Okada? No,
For the ladder match,
no,
the
I
trios
missed.
ladder.
No, I missed it.
All right. So they announced, and this is another thing that I have a problem with. It kind of goes hand in hand with the ROH title stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for the trios match, they announced that the wild card
Entrant,
qualifier match, it's Top Flight and Action Andretti
makes sense.
versus Claudio, Yuta, and Pac. So I'm not going to tell you who won, but that's the match. One of those two teams is getting in. But like, my thing is, I said
just
this
to get them on the card. That's so fucking. But that's what we said when they added the fourth team in the first place. Whatever team you were going to add in there is just to get a team in the card. It's for nothing with the storyline, which is so stupid.
Yeah, yeah. And my problem is, if you were going to do a wild card trios, like, give me like that, like Claudio, Yuta, and Pac versus like Top Flight and Jay Lethal. Like, make it two wild card teams. You know what
fair.
I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, don't give me an established trio versus a thrown together trio.
Like how they did with like FTR and Darby. Like that would have been like some wild card.
Yeah, just make it wild card, make it random. But they just, and again, I'm not telling you who won, but that's the match that they're doing on Collision.
Well, Jay Falco was saying how he was telling you that the Lucha Bros contract he thinks is what messed up that for Pac, so that's what.
Oh, it definitely did. It absolutely did. But like, you could have pivoted better. I don't know. You could have pivoted way better than this. But also, that's all I got.
Like, respectfully to Pac, even before they didn't sign the contract, it's not like they were doing the Death Triangle thing anyway. So like, give Pac his own fucking match. Give him a match on Zero. I don't care. Just give the guy a match at Wembley, bro. Like, it's wild that.
We'll see how Collision goes. I won't say anything.
Yeah, I know.
Because again, everything I've told you has been official. Like, it's no.
Just so annoying.
Yep, that's all I got. Prediction time.
Prediction time. Let me pull up the predictions page. And
you have Matt's predictions?
What happened?
Do you have Matt's predictions, or do you want me to pull them up?
No, I have them. I just need to also pull up the predictions page on here so I can type into it.
That's fine. So, for anyone watching that has not, also Jay says I'd be all for Pac Okada too. Yeah, I kind of thought that after the draw.
Right. Honestly, and that's why I thought they were going, because didn't Pac say whoever came out of that match he was going to challenge? I thought that was going to be for Wembley.
No, that was for MJF Ospreay. He's fighting the winner of that.
You're right. You're right.
So, for anyone watching that has not seen us do a predictions episode before, pretty simple. We're just going to go through the matches one by one, do our predictions. We've been doing these predictions since SummerSlam of last year. So that is the overall records you are seeing at the top between myself, Danny, and Matt. And we're going to go one at a time. And since cards are subject to change and shows are still going to air in the meantime, these are always left open to change off stream until bell time. So once the show starts, that's it. Picks are locked. So anything you hear here on the show won't be locked in per se. It could change amongst us in between.
There's also
as you're watching, if you want to give your predictions, let us know in chat who you think is going to win each match, and we'll roll with it. Let's go.
I agree. All right. First match of the night, we have Statlander and Hathaway versus Nightingale and Ishii. What are you thinking?
I hate this match.
I hate this match.
Like, I hate Stokely's in it. Honestly, that's really it. And I think it's an insult that they were put on the buy-in when the full show wasn't even done yet. Like, and it's only a 10-match card. Like, you could have put this on the main card, I feel like, but whatever. And also the winner chooses a stipulation for them going one-on-one 2 weeks from now at All Out. So it's been a lot of Willow winning, and the belt's going to be on the line. So I'd like to think, like, this is the buy-in. Usually the baby faces always win on the buy-in, because you want to pop the crowd, get everybody excited. And Stokely's going to get beat up. He's the punching bag, so it's easy in that front. I'm gonna go with Willow and Ishii for now. I think they're gonna pick the step, and then Statlander is probably gonna win in 2 weeks. I'm gonna go with Willow and Ishii.
All right. We have an issue with Matt's picks.
What's that?
For this match, Matt picked Chris Statlander and Ishii.
He probably meant Stat and Hathaway.
That's all I'm thinking, right?
We can ask him. We'll ask him offline.
We'll double check. For now, I'll put in Stat and Hathaway, assuming that's what he meant.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he meant.
So let me put in Stat and Hathaway for him here.
Actually, to be fair, I wrote it wrong. I just read the tweet. I mean the text to him. I wrote the wrong team, so that's on me, not on him.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, you did write Willow Stokely. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You fool.
Either way, we'll fix it.
All right. I'm going to go with Matt on this. I actually think the heels are going to win this one to try to pull some, crazy stuff. I know Stokely's going to be the punching bag, but I don't think he's going to take the pin. I think Stat's going to take the pin, and then Nightingale's going to get her comeuppance at the next pay-per-view. So I think Stat and Hathaway are going to win this one. So I'm going to go with that. Take that, Juice. All right, next match. We have the AEW Women's World Title match. Toni Storm, after beating Saraya, versus Mariah May. This long-term story feud is finally coming to a head, and I'm really excited about this. Probably the longest story on the card, actually, now that I look at it.
So Jay did right. Stokely gets the pin on Ishii. Bloodline rules.
Oh my god! I hope they say Bloodline rules too.
Oh boy! All right. Well,
what are you thinking?
Matt predicts Toni Storm is going to retain.
Yes.
And it's funny because like you'd think. Obviously, like this is Mariah's moment. This is it. Like she has to come in there, has to fire, win, and beat her. But it's like this is one of those ones where it's like, okay, is this the beginning or the end, though? Like after the turn, because also like Tony's only been timeless. Like I think around a time when she either won the title or briefly before, and I wonder if she loses it, does the timeless gimmick go away?
Yeah, because the timeless gimmick really work without the title. Like, I don't think it works.
It does. I mean, they did it. Here's the thing: the reason it started to begin with was when she lost the title around a year ago, building up to All In.
That's fair.
She lost it to Sheeta because of Saraya's like funny business, and then she snapped. And like a month later, she became this. It was like a mental breakdown.
Really fair. You're
right. Also, another thing to keep in mind: we get Luther. Where's Luther at? He's been kind of quiet.
He did disappear.
After the injury and all the attack and stuff, so he could show up here. Put me down for Mariah, but
interesting.
I don't know. Stokely could. I mean, Stokely, Jesus. I was reading chat. Storm could pull something off here with Luther and retain.
I do agree. I think, though, I agree with you, though, that I think Mariah, this might be her moment finally, and I think Tony's had a long run with it, so I don't. Oh, and Jade Falcon said, "Don't forget about Mina." I don't.
Yeah, Mina.
I don't see it. I don't think it's completely crazy for her to finally lose the belt. Just question is, do we think Mariah's ready for the heavyweight championship? I don't know. That's really what it comes down to me. Is she ready for it?
I do. You got to think back to January when she debuted and started wrestling. Like they've booked her very well and protected her really well. She's got a lot of wins, a lot of big wins. Yeah. I think she's more than ready. Okay. She won the Owen. I mean,
yeah, no, for sure. I'm just throwing that out there as a devil's advocate. Next matchup, we have the AEW American title. MJF, the champion, versus Will Ospreay. Where are we going with this one, boss? For the record, Matt says MJF.
Yeah, this is another one, kind of like Tony, where I'm thinking like it's easy to think like Will Ospreay, hometown pop, win the title back from the Evil American in the UK. But like Ospreay already got his win last year. I mean, MJF did too. Like, yeah, they both got their wins, but Ospreay doesn't need the win again. Like you can roll with this MJF America gimmick a little bit longer, but just my last night they started bringing up the Tiger Driver stuff. With Danielson giving them the okay to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. That's obviously going to play a factor into it, whether or not he hits it or does it.
Of all the people, MJF deserves it the most.
I, I've been thinking Osprey for MJF for weeks, but now after last night, I'm gonna change it to Osprey for now.
Oh, messed me up. I thought
So
you were going with
put me
MJF.
down for Will Osprey, but again, I'm sure half my picks are gonna change. Let me tell you something real quick. This is the only show that we've done since we started the show where my predictions like for the pay-per-view were like below 500. I did not do well at last year's All In predictions wise, and usually I do pretty well on all the shows. Like I'll miss a few and
Yeah, for sure.
still end up doing well. This is the only one where like last year I was terrible. I'm sure
I
this year's going to be just as bad.
I feel I'm in the same boat as you right now, where I'm looking at more of these matches as we're going down. I'm like, I really don't know about half of these. If
Yeah,
like I don't feel confident, like Mariah May, I don't feel confident. MJF, I don't feel confident. The next pick, I'm not going to feel confident. Like a lot of picks, I don't feel confident right now. There's very few where I'm like
yeah.
that they're definitely going to win, and I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know.
it's funny. The next few I feel pretty confident with. These two are pretty coin flips. The next two I feel good about. The rest of
So
them,
the
yeah,
next one why I don't feel confident is because I feel like it's a pretty easy pick for Jack Perry, but like this is Darby's match also, and in the sense that Darby's had a few of these and hasn't lost it. The reason I think it's obvious that Jack Perry's going to win is because he's going to have obviously the elite to help him out, and Darby doesn't really have anyone backing him up. But I wouldn't be surprised if Darby won. I just don't think it's going to be that short of a title reign for Jack Perry.
hey, he's only had it for 2 months. They just introduced the custom belt. Uh, Darby's challenging for the world title next month. Um, I'm going with Jack Perry.
Yeah,
This one, and I don't think the elite's getting involved either. But I think Jack Perry's going to retain.
I do think the elite's getting involved. At the very least, Okada, if not everyone. But we'll see. AEW TBS title match: Mercedes
Oh,
Moné versus DMD Britt Baker. Who are we going with, Juice?
yeah, give me Mercedes here. She's not losing it, not yet, not here, especially after all the stuff with Britt and all the drama. Nah, not
And not
yet.
to mention, I just don't think Britt needs it. Like, I don't think this is a match that Britt needs to win. I think this is a match to get Monet really on that like pedestal of this is the best one
Yeah,
in the company because I'm gonna take out your best, and then I think this is like a match tailor made for Monet. I agree. Um, this one I have no idea. Casino Gauntlet match because we don't know most of the participants. We know for sure that Orange Cassidy is in it, and we know for sure that Adam Page is in it.
can you move the screen down? I can't see anything.
Oh, that would help, wouldn't it? So, I
Okay,
don't think
perfect.
Orange Cassidy is winning, as much as I would love him
No,
to, because he's my boy. Adam Page seems like the favorite to win it, but that that storyline is pretty much directly tied in with the World Heavyweight Championship storyline, so I don't know where they're going to go with either one of those. Do you have a wild card you want in there? Our buddy Matt gave me Ricky Starks
yeah,
as
quite
his
the
pick.
wild card you went with there. Um, I'm gonna stick with my gut, and I'm gonna say Adam Page.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know it's again like you said the favorites. It's not that much of a like wild pick, but I think he's gonna win it, and I'm terrified if they go with the cash in route for this thing. And we can get to that later, but I swear to God, if they do an Adam Page cash in, to like to like that night, we're gonna have a problem.
I,
But yeah,
I we'll get to that. We'll talk about that.
yeah, we'll get to it. But
FTW title
that's my only
match: Chris
terrifying.
Jericho versus Hook. Probably the match you're looking forward to the most on of the night. Who you got winning?
Yeah, yeah, give me Hook, and for the love of God, like next week after he wins, for the love of God, please just come out and retire that damn belt. Get rid of it
So
because it's been a whole year and he's right back where he started. Like if he loses, then Jericho keeps it. If he wins, then he did the same thing he did last year and he's still FCW champion. Get rid of that title, retire it in your name, and it's gone. And move on to something else for your own sake.
So I'm gonna go back and forth on this, and I'm probably gonna change this by Sunday. But I don't know if they're gonna do that because I think with the did you hear the stipulation? Did they have the stipulation that if Hook loses, he can't ever challenge for it again,
Well, it's not that he can't. I don't think it's he can't
or he
challenge
can't
for it again. It's
challenge
just
Chris
that
Jericho for it?
he leaves the Jericho vortex. So like basically the feud with Jericho is done. But like if Jericho loses it to like Shibata, then
Yeah,
Hook can fight Shibata for
yeah,
the
yeah.
title. So it's not
So
the title's not out. It's just
I
the Jericho feud.
I'm curious though because if he loses, see, I thought it was just for the title. I didn't realize it was his whole vortex, so that automatically might change my answer now. Because I was gonna
Yeah.
say if it's just for the title and he loses, that's just gonna set up All Out or whatever, where they do like Hook and Joe and Shibata versus the whole family, the whole learning tree.
No, you can't because he said he's out of the vortex. He's done with
Yeah,
them.
so then
So
I'm changing my pick right now then because then that can't happen because this feud's continuing I believe after All In. So Hook's got to win
yeah,
then. So that was short lived. Next match, we have the triple threat match for the AEW Tag Team titles. The Young Bucks, FTR, Acclaimed. I'm going to start this one off after I put Matt's, which is FTR. I'm going to say the Acclaimed for this one. I think everyone is talking about the Young Bucks and FTR. I think everyone is so focused on this feud, including us. Like, I've only really been talking about these two and how annoyed I am with it, that I think the Acclaimed is like, this is going to be their chance to be like, we're the best because we beat the two best that you've all said are the best in the world, the best in history, yada, yada, yada. This is our chance to really say it, and we're two-time champions. And I'm hoping that this is their Acclaimed's moment.
yeah, Acclaimed have a better shot than FTR in my opinion. I although same thing with Jack Perry, same thing with Mercedes Moné. I don't think this reign is over yet. Give it to the Young Bucks. I
Interesting.
mean, yeah, like I don't want it to keep going, but FTR beat the Bucks last year, so I don't see FTR winning again. I don't see Acclaim getting a sneak here. Like I see it's the Young Bucks getting their win at Wembley. So yeah, Bucks.
All right. Two more matches left so far of announced. We have the ladder
Yeah.
match, the AEW Trios title. We have the Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang versus House of Black versus To Be Determined. Matt is choosing To Be Determined, he said.
Yeah,
I
and
love that
also
man.
for what it's worth, he doesn't know who the fourth team is for sure. He does know about the qualifier match though.
Got it.
And that pick was made before the qualifier match was announced. So
Yes.
he's stuck with his wild card pick.
He loves that wild card pick. I'm gonna go with my dad because I can't vote against my dad. I think the Patriarchy retains because I think Mama Wayne gets involved. Like always, that little bitch. Oh, sorry. Am I not allowed to say
Um,
that? Am I going to get in trouble like Shivani did on air?
no, you can. You're not Shivani, so it's fine.
Fair. Bitch.
All right. I'm I'm gonna go with patriarchy too. Um,
Thanks for the
I
support.
really hope they win. I yeah.
I really
I
and
want that.
that's the other thing. I don't want any of the other teams to win because I think the Patriarchy is the only team that can really have a storyline with these right now. I think Bang Bang Gang going face and moving on to another story is gonna be good. And House of Black, man, they need to just let them go. I know he's not gonna win it, and that's fine, but let Malachi Black go into the world title scene just once. Just have a feud. Just let him get in there. Just so people see him in that main event scene. And then let them be his backup or let them do whatever. Let the two of them go up to the tag team titles. That would be dope. And let them kind of try to get all those titles. That's the House of Black should be one of those factions that are dominating this company. And it's so sad that they don't. They have 3 of the best workers like in the world right now, and Buddy Murphy, Malachi Black, and Brody King is just a fucking giant monster. Like I say this all the time. Whenever there's a big man who can move and who can really be athletic and who can really like be a main event star, they don't use him right. It pisses me off, and they do it all the time. AEW especially really doesn't know how to use big men, and it's so upsetting to me, man. Like they don't give any big man a good run with the title or anything. It's such bullshit.
Well, first off, Jay says Mother Wayne climbs the ladder as a title holder to win the match.
Yes. Oh my god, I would love that. That would be dope.
All right, so not to get too far off on that tangent, but like, besides Keith, like, are you talking about the world title?
I'm talking about
for big men.
Most titles, they're not really giving big men a good run for. Like they introduced them well. Brody Lee had a good run with the TNT title. Then besides that, they brought in Lance Archer. He didn't have a run of any kind. They bring in Brody King. He hasn't done anything. Keith Lee got sick and stuff, so I can't really blame them for the Keith Lee. What other big men have they brought in that's had like a lengthy title run?
Well, and that's kind of my thing. Like Keith Lee, I mean, he did have the tag title run with Swerve. I mean, Hobbs and Wardlow have gotten TNT title runs.
But like Hobbs and Wardlow, you can't tell me had great runs. Like Hobbs and Wardlow, we don't really talk about when we talk about like good runs.
No, but still, we're not talking about. I mean, if we're talking about good runs now, then fine. If we're talking about
that's
runs,
what I'm saying.
like
I'm not saying they haven't given them belts. I'm saying they haven't given them they haven't been like dominating champions. They haven't had like good runs with the title. Like there's no big man that has really been like a dominating big man of the company for a few months, even in my opinion. Like
I mean, Joe.
But Joe's not a big man. Joe's not a big man. Joe, like if you really
Joe's a big man.
Joe is a large man. Joe's not a big man. Like when I think of big man, I think of like tall and
split your hairs.
No, I'm okay. Serious. I'm thinking when you think of a big man, I'm thinking of either a giant man or I'm thinking of a jacked guy. Like being big and being able to move but still being a certain height. I don't consider you a big man. I consider you a dangerous man. Joe is a dangerous motherfucker, but Joe's not a big man.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Moving on.
All right.
AEW, Miro didn't have a good title run either. God's favorite champion? That was a terrible title run.
No, I don't like Miro.
I love Miro. That's the funny thing. I can't believe we're disagreeing on this. I love Miro. I thought that was a terrible title run.
Nah, he had a good run.
That's funny.
He did.
And I wonder, Miro's jacked. I would consider Miro more of a big man than Joe. Interesting. All right.
What? No, oh my God. Okay.
He's jacked compared to Joe, bro. Stop it. They're not the same body size.
Can we do the main event now, please?
Okay. I can't believe that's an argument. So, AEW World Title, Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. And I think this is really why we're arguing right now, because we know what we're about to talk about. And we're about to talk about the most emotional match that I can think of since Shawn Michaels retiring for myself personally. This match, I don't want to give an answer because either I'm right or wrong, and I don't want to be wrong. Like, that's what it comes down to. For the record, I'll start off with Matt's since he's not here. Matt chose Daniel Bryan technically, but Bryan Danielson.
Okay. Danielson has to win. That's the long and short of it. I mean, if they do this, it's gonna be really bad. Like, I'm sorry, but
really bad how? What do you mean really bad?
Like his last run, like he had the Owen and then a match with Jarrett. Like, there's so many other matches at your disposal, and you're gonna end it. It's not like he's ending it. It's ending it at a right point if it's like at Wembley in front of all those people and just
Yeah, but
You cannot do it.
there's an argument to be made that the only reason the run happened the way it did was because of the injuries that happened during the. So like, you couldn't have some key matches or key feuds because he was out for like 3 months. Like I think twice, right? Like he went out for 3 months, almost
Yeah,
towards the
it's just
beginning of it, and then towards the
he's
middle end.
gotta. It's all gotta be just pulling at the heartstrings, like the neck surgery and all this other stuff. Like, listen, I have never prayed more for a 7-year-old's tears than I have for this Sunday in Wembley Stadium. I want the image of 50,000 people cheering, hands in the air, yes, yes, blood, just sweat and just everyone confetti falling. And then they cut to Brie Bella holding Birdie in tears because daddy ain't coming home. Bryan Danielson, new world champion, goes on next month to fight Darby Allin at Grand Slam, giving me my personal last dream match for Danielson.
So
Let's go.
JD Falco said, if Daniel loses, we cry, which I agree. We all cry. That's exactly what I
Yes.
told the guy at the car wash today. If he loses this match on Sunday, I will be a grown 35-year-old man weeping in my living room because probably my second favorite wrestler since Shawn Michaels will be retiring. And that's not something that I think I can handle. So that would be devastating.
Here's the thing, like I'm gonna be getting donuts for myself for this event. These are gonna be one of 3 types of donuts, Danny. These are either gonna be depression donuts because I'm sad. These are either gonna be celebratory donuts because he won, or they're gonna be anger donuts because Adam Page cashes in and wins the belt from Swerve and or Danielson.
Now, that opens up another situation where if he wins the belt from Danielson, that means Danielson doesn't retire, correct?
Technically, yes. And that's why it's such a WWE fucking thing to do. I don't think they're doing it. I don't. But it's out there. It's in the fucking ether.
Now,
everyone's thinking it.
I know
nothing's been said to make it a cash.
That's what I was going to ask. I haven't heard anything that says anytime, anywhere, any place.
Exactly. No. And that's why I think the perfect thing to do is you give Paige the win.
Anywhere and any
place.
Because
it sets the doubt. You give Paige the win in the gauntlet. It sets the doubt that Danielson's going to win. Like, why would Danielson win? Paige just won the gauntlet. Clearly, he's going to fight Swerve for the belt after the show. And like now you can do Paige and Danielson like sometime either at All Out or whatever.
But knowing that, don't you then do the opposite where you have someone else win and then everyone's like, shit, if Paige doesn't win, why would Swerve win?
No, I think you're better off doing it where Paige wins. I think Paige winning makes everyone think as Paige and Swerve as a layup in the future for the title. And then that just pisses off Paige, and now Paige gets a title shot against Danielson. But not Swerve.
Also, won't Birdie be crying anyway once her father is bleeding and bloody? Like you said, if that's how he's going to end the match, I assume his daughter would be crying at any point during the match when she sees her father bleeding and dying.
I want Birdie tears no matter what.
100%. She needs to shut the fuck up because like she
made all this.
She is the reason. Exactly. This is because of that dumb little girl. All right. She is also still influencing him now. Like, you've already made this happen. Stay away from him. Let the man train. Stop getting in his ear about wanting to retire and you want him home. He doesn't want to be home. Well, it's okay.
No, he does. He does.
It's okay.
Honestly,
he doesn't.
So, all right. Okay. All the dramatics aside, I think he wins, and I think he runs until World's End. I think he loses it at World's End, and that's it. Yeah, that's my honest opinion.
No, I really do. I don't see him ending an AEW run without the world title once. I know he said he didn't want it, but I think he meant it more as like he didn't want like a huge run. He didn't want like the thing. I think he understands he deserves. Like he just said Wednesday, he's the best fucking wrestler in the world. He's the best fucking wrestler for the past 10 years. He deserves one AEW title run on his resume. AEW deserves to have him as a champion in their history books. Like, this needs to happen for both of them, really. Like, not needs to, but this should happen for both of them. Like, it adds legitimacy to AEW, and once AEW becomes more legitimate, like, he should be a name on there that helped pave the way. And, like, granted, he's going to be in the history of AEW, but, like, he's got to be a little more in the history. He's got to be as one of the greatest ever, and you can't be that without being a champion there.
It's the Sting template. I mean, that's the perfect. That's what gives me comfort more than anything.
Yes,
like you saw what Tony did with Sting. Like, yeah, it was only 2 weeks, but like, or a month. I think it was 2 weeks. But like, Tony was like, "No, you're getting the tag titles. Like, you're in the record books.
You have
champion,
to.
Retiring undefeated." Like, he did that against Sting's wishes, and I'm thinking we're getting the same thing here with Danielson.
I really hope
now,
so.
He'll get all in. He'll get all out in Chicago. He'll get Grand Slam in New York. He'll get Wrestle Dream one last time in his hometown. Could lose it there. I don't think so. He'll probably take it, get a 4-month reign, take it to World's End.
No, and I agree with that. That makes sense because he did say, like, this is his last year, and I do think he always meant that. I don't think, like, anything that TK can do or anything anyone else can say is going to convince him to stay into 2025 at all. But I do also think he understands what's best for the business. He understands what's best for himself, for his career. And this is the best way to finish your career. Like, you finish it on top. And most likely his last match, like you said, is the match he loses the title. And that's a hell of a fucking match to lose on. And it'll probably be Ospreay, which would be dope.
Oh, yeah, the Tiger Driver.
Which would be dope for Ospreay then to now win his first title, kind of a passing of the torch. This was the best wrestler in the world. You are the future best wrestler in the world. See you later. Have a fucking great career. Like,
you know what you just did? You just made me change my pick back to MJF.
Nah!
You did. Because now he's not going to use the Tiger Driver, and that's going to be the fuel for him finally using it against Danielson.
So I'm going back up here and I'm changing this to MJF right now?
For now, yes. Well, maybe I'll change it back, but you just changed my mind. I mean, again, you got to remember, he announced this like semi-retirement, like it was around September.
Yeah.
Last year.
And he said a year, like this all falls in line, and I get it, but also like because of that though too, I think this is part of the storyline where it's like, yeah, I'm supposed to retire now. Now what the fuck happens if I win? Now I can't retire. Like, here we go. Now he's gonna be wrestling begrudge. Like, this is great, and this is what we've been waiting for from AEW. We've been saying this. They, like, if you look at all the matches we're hyped for, they're the ones with actually good storyline. Like, they're the ones that have been drawn out. They're the ones that have been set in place for a few months or whatever, and it's been working really well. Even for the most part, like Tony Storm, Mariah May, working very well. MJF Ospreay, I wouldn't say it's been a few months, but like that, we didn't even talk about it. Their promo on Wednesday was amazing. Like, finally, a different MJF version, a different MJF, not the shtick like, oh, I'm better than you, you're Rich Report. It's like, no, I'm jealous of you. You're the reason this MJF is here because, like, you took my fans, you took my spotlight. Like, forget all the rest of that. Oh, when he snapped, I was like, yes, this is what the feud needed. This is exactly this is the MJF we've also been waiting for. This is the mic I've been waiting for. This is the new gimmick I've been waiting for. Like, this is a jealous little bitch who's going to do whatever it takes to hold on to that title to show the entire world that your new hero isn't better than me because I'm still the best in this company. And that's fucking great.
Yep. So Jay says no chance he loses with 50,000 people singing Final Countdown with tears in their eyes. Jay also says he could also appear at Wrestle Dynasty in Japan, the Tokyo Dome.
Bro,
I think that might be a little too far.
When is that?
I don't think he makes it that long. I don't know.
Is that in
It'd be awesome, but like, yeah, that's like January 4th of 2025. It's like it'd be like a week after World's End. I don't know. I think it's too far. I think farthest he makes it is World's End. Truthfully, he could end at Wrestle Dream in his hometown. Honestly, he could.
I was going to say, Wrestle Dream in his hometown sounds like the perfect ending for him.
And that'd give him like a month and a half reign. And his one known defense would be against Darby. All right, we need to wrap this up. We're all coping a little too hard here for something that hasn't happened yet.
No, because listen, we have to cope now because in 3 days we might need to. I might need to watch this and be like, this is what could have been. Like next week, our what if might be what if Daniel Bryan won the match.
I'm Brian Danielson, but I won't be able to even do that. I
No,
won't even be
no,
able
because
to.
at that point he'll be out. So Matt will want Daniel Bryan, so we can do the what if that version of him.
No,
No,
I won't be attending
no.
that episode. I won't be on. I won't. I will not.
We
I
might
won't
need to
partake
take
in
a break.
what if.
We might need to take a week off to cope.
Listen, I'm not doing a what if he loses a week later. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. That's it. I've had enough. We can let's wrap this up.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. This was probably the most emotional you've seen me and Juice. And that might not be nothing, because Sunday might be the most emotional I've been since, what did we say, WrestleMania 26? It's going to be bad. We might do a reaction video. Maybe we'll post a quick reaction video, good or bad. Let's see how Sunday goes. I don't know. But I hope you all tune in. What'd you say?
Definitely not the most emotional I've been. Most emotional I've been on this show is probably the week after Punk got fired. But
that's fair. That's fair.
Or the week after Mania 40. That was another bad one.
That's fair.
But either way.
Right, I do hope you all find a way to watch All In this week. If any of you are Bryan Danielson fans, you need to watch the pay-per-view this week. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great week, and we will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Hopefully, same good mood. We'll find out, ladies and gentlemen. See you guys next week. Peace out.
Yes. 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 Yes.
drifting away.